2021 has been an amazing year, despite all the crazy stuff that has been happening all around the world. And this is mainly because of you guys. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for all your support and for being such an amazing community. Now, I normally use this quieter time of the year to look back and reflect on the past 12 months, but also look into the future and try to decide where I want to invest my time and energy for the upcoming 12 months. I invite you to join me on a recap of 2021 as well as an outlook of what you can expect on this channel in 2022 coming up. So let's have a look at some of the highlights from these past 12 months. First, one of the biggest highlights for me personally was the invitation to document and film the CIMA's World Championship in Underwater Photography and Videography for the organizers themselves. Now, this has been a very big honor for myself, being called and invited to do that, and it was great to spend the time there with so many like-minded people and to meet old friends and also make new connections and new friends during that time. Another big highlight for myself was definitely James's visit to Zurich earlier this year. Now, James from Divers Ready, I'm pretty sure that all of you guys know him, but if you don't, I'll put the link to his channel down in the video description. Go and check out his amazing work. We have started a collaboration a little over a year ago, which is called Across the Oceans, which is a series, a monthly series that we produce, and we talk about filming underwater, anything connected to filming underwater, cameras, all that sort of stuff. We've been doing this consistently throughout this year and it has been great, but the greatest has really been when James dropped by on his stopover in Zurich as he was passing through Zurich on his way to South Africa for the sardine run.
Yes, of course, come on over.
All right, I'll be right there. Hey man.
Hey buddy.
How are you?
How you doing, man?
Great
Good to see you.
Wow, what a setup.
Thanks for dropping
This
by.
is awesome.
Glad
What
you
a
like
studio,
it.
man.
Ah.
We were able to spend an entire day together here in Zurich. We were able to shoot some content together. We actually shot a series for the Across the Ocean episodes as well. And it was just really cool to actually get to meet James in person, spend some time with him, just bond closer during that day. And yeah, I can't wait to take that series further and continue with that in the upcoming year. Probably my biggest project this past year was the creation of my very first online course for underwater videography. Now, this has been something that has been on my mind for quite some time, but I've never really had the time or never took the time to actually make this happen. But this year I took a time window of about 2.5 months during summer, which I dedicated entirely to creating a complete guide to filming underwater. It's an online course for those of you who haven't seen it yet that teaches you everything you need to know, from picking out the right equipment to film underwater for your personal needs, to actually film with that equipment underwater appropriately, use it appropriately, to actually telling a story with the images that you've captured. The course was launched in late September and has been a big success so far. I've been getting tons of feedback from people taking the course, telling me how much they've learned during that course and how much better their underwater videography has become after going through the content and everything that is inside that course. And this is exactly what the aim of this course was, to make everyone capable of recording their underwater adventures in the best possible way, so they have a memory that they can remember their underwater adventures, their encounters, and that they can also share with friends, family, and the entire world. Because this course has been received so well and I've gotten so much good feedback about the course, I have actually decided to just bring back the price from the original 249 euros that the course was regularly priced to 99 euros for the time being. Simple reason there, I just really want to make as many people as possible out there capable of taking the course and improving their underwater videography, or even get into underwater videography altogether. So if this is something that you've got on your bucket list, getting better at filming your underwater adventures, I'll put a link down in the video description below. Feel free to check out the course and see if this is something that could be helpful for you as well. This recap wouldn't be complete without the mention of the mini-series that I produced in spring about the toads in Lake Lucerne. I spent a couple of weeks diving with those toads and documenting everything from their mating to laying their eggs to the tadpoles actually hatching and growing. It was really interesting to see that entire process, and it was great to be able to take you along on that journey with me. And from a filming perspective, I will probably say that this was the most interesting project for me this year. Another biggie was the move to my new studio, which happened also in spring this year. For a long time I was filming in my living room for most of the time, and eventually this year I was able to move into a dedicated studio and office space, and that has changed how I film my YouTube videos by quite a bit, because now I don't have to rearrange my living room every time I want to record a video, but I've got a sort of pre-arranged setup where I can just hit the record button and start filming videos, which has made it a lot more efficient for me to produce these videos. Having been asked to join the judges panel at this year's Mara's Underwater Photo Marathon was definitely one of the highlights for me. I felt very honored to be able to share my expertise and help the judges panel in deciding which of the films that were submitted should be pronounced the winner of this year's video competition. Over the past 12 months, we had the pleasure of testing out and reviewing tons of different gear here on the channel for you guys. There's one piece of equipment that I want to pick out from all the other ones, and it is because it is something that I have never used before. It is the Ocean Reef Neptune 3 full face mask, and as I said, I had never been diving with a full face mask before, and it was something completely new to me. Sebastian and myself decided to take a course about how to properly use that mask, and then after having taken the course we decided to buy each one of those full face masks and take it with us on our production trip to Egypt, which happened in November. We were most interested in seeing how the communication worked with these masks and whether or not we were able to improve our communication while on production trips and being underwater. And we were actually quite blown away by how you can communicate with these masks underwater. It takes a little bit of practice, but in the end it is really cool how you can use those masks to eliminate the need to use complicated hand signals or even go up to the surface frequently to discuss things before going back down and continuing your work. So that obviously made it possible for us to be more efficient during that production week and just produce more content for you guys. So this is probably one of the favorite pieces of equipment from this year, the Ocean Reef Neptune 3 full face mask. And last but not least, I want to mention the series that we launched this year, reviewing your underwater films. This is something that I don't even know how exactly it happened that we came up with this idea, but it has turned out to be a really cool thing. Sebastian and myself, we love critiquing, watching, reviewing all your great content, all your great underwater films that you send us, and it seems that you guys are enjoying watching these critiques and these reviews as well, hopefully learning lots from other underwater filmmakers and how they are approaching the capture of their underwater adventures. This is definitely something that we will be continuing in the next year, even though we have had a bit of a break now because it was fairly busy the last couple of months, but this is something that we will be continuing in 2022 for sure. So, talking about next year, let's head into what you can expect on this channel here in 2022. As I just said, the Reviewing Your Underwater video series is definitely going to be revived here on the channel, and we'll be publishing more of your videos that you've already sent us. There is still a couple of these that I've got ready to review and then publish and share my thoughts about the films with you guys together with Sebastian. But obviously we do need more content of you as well. So if you have a underwater film that you would like us to review in that series, feel free to send a link to that film to me. Please don't send it on all different social media channels because I've kind of lost track of all your submissions there. Please use my regular email address, which is contact@matthiaslebo.com. Just send me an email, put the link to the video in there, and I'll make sure to review it in good time and publish it in that series, Reviewing Your Underwater Films. Another series that's going to be continued in 2022 is the Across the Ocean series with my friend James from Divers Ready. Now, even though we are going to continue that series, there is going to be a little break of 2 months, so we won't be publishing any new episodes in January and February for a very simple reason. James, as well as myself, have a lot of work on our table right now. James is really busy teaching all the way through to the end of February. He's probably the most sought after scuba instructor in the industry right now. And I myself, I have quite a bit of client work that is waiting to be done and that I need to prioritize a little bit here. So we'll be getting together at the beginning of March, producing, recording the next episodes, and they will be published then again on a monthly basis, starting or continuing in March and onwards. Since the online course that I launched in September this year has been such a big success, I have decided to produce more online courses. But I'm gonna be going more into specific areas of filming underwater. The first 2 courses that are on the table right now are 2 master classes. I'm looking at producing, or I'm actually in the process of producing, a GoPro masterclass for filming underwater, as well as a Paralens Vaquita masterclass for filming underwater. These 2 courses should be finished and ready to be purchased round about the end of February or the beginning of March. The aim of these courses is to give you all the information bundled that you need to create the best possible underwater footage using these specific cameras. And who knows, if these courses get received as well as my initial course that I released this year, I might even produce other master classes for different types of cameras for filming underwater. Also, something that I'm looking into right now and that should be ready to share with you guys in sort of January or early February next year is the creation of LUTs, lookup tables for underwater footage for specific cameras. Right now I'm looking at creating LUTs for the GH5, for the GoPro and for the Paralens cameras, simply because those are the cameras that I have at hand, that I have plenty of material that I can use to create these LUTs with. If you don't know what a LUT is, LUT stands for lookup table, and it's basically a filter that you can put over your original clip that you filmed while underwater, and it will manipulate the colors in a certain way, giving you a nicer looking image right away without having to tweak the little wheels and curves and all that sort of stuff yourself too much. So it can be a huge time saver, and that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to create material that will save you time in your post-production so you can create even better looking underwater films. Please do let me know down in the comment section below if there's any other cameras that you would like me to produce and create LUTs for, and I'll see what I can do. Something that has been requested quite a few times here on the channel is most likely going to happen this coming year. I'm actually planning a video trip. I'm not entirely sure on the timing yet. It might be sort of around early May or then towards autumn, kind of September, October-ish. And I'm looking at the destination Egypt or the Caribbean, Bonaire specifically. Nothing set in stone yet, but it's something that I'm gonna be looking at in the next month or so, and as soon as I've got details, I'll be sharing them with you here on the channel. And last but not least, there is obviously also gonna be tons of new tutorials and gear review videos coming up in the next year here on the channel. This is something that has always been at the core of this channel, sharing my knowledge with you as well as testing stuff and giving you my honest opinion about equipment that you can use to film underwater and whether it actually is beneficial or not. And we don't want to change this core element of the channel. So there you have it. You now know where this channel is gonna go in the next 12 months and what you can expect to see on this space. Thank you so much for your time and for sticking with me to the very end. There's actually going to be a 2-week break here on the channel because I'm going on a Christmas vacation starting tomorrow, and there won't be any uploads for the next 2 weeks. The next video here will be uploaded and will be published on January the 10th, and we're gonna come back strong with a comparison video of the footage quality of the GoPro 10, the Paralens Vaquita and the iPhone 13. So if you don't want to miss out on that, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you get notified when that video drops. And it only leaves one more thing for me to say, which is happy holidays. I'm even gonna put on my festive Santa Claus hat for that. Enjoy this festive season with your friends and family. Have a fantastic Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I will see you back on January 10th here on the channel. Take care and I'll see you soon.